Did anybody from your employer say, Alicia, this country has crazy laws. We're going to get you out of the country and get you to good medical help overseas. This is our proposal. Was there anything like that?
No, nothing like that at all. They didn't even talk about giving me my passport back or giving me an option to leave. I said, if I want to go home, how do I go home? And they said that I had a debt to them because they'd flown me over and...
You're kidding.
Yeah, they'd flown me over and paid my accommodation and all that, and I hadn't worked long enough to recover those expenses.
So you've been raped.
Yes.
You're asking for your passport so you can get medical assistance.
Yes.
And they're saying you owe them money.
Yes.
Badly injured and in shock, Alicia was made to feel as if she was to blame.
When she tried to go to the human resource manager office, he refused to meet her.
And did you witness that yourself?
Yes, yes.
Confused and frightened, Alicia rang the Australian consulate here in this high-rise in Dubai. She didn't know what to do. She needed help from the Australian government. She didn't get it.
In legal documents, the woman Alicia spoke to at the consulate is identified as Gail Miller.
All she said to me is reconsider your need to be in the country at this time, and that if I had been drugged, there could be issues with drug laws in the country and that I could have faced life imprisonment. And I explained to her that the hotel was holding my passport and that I couldn't go anywhere.
Did she offer you an emergency passport to get you out of the country?
No, no.
She tried to get help, didn't she, from both the hotel?
Yes.
And the embassy?
Yes.
What do you think of the help she received?
Alicia was neglected.
Sue is Alicia's mum. Back in Australia, all she could do was try and comfort her daughter over the phone.
She'd say, I don't know what to do. I said, I don't know what to do. I couldn't help her.
Alicia Ghali was in a strange country with no one to turn to and no one knew of her plight. And that's because the Australian government was actively trying to suppress her story. They told her family not to speak to the media, not to make a fuss.
At the same time, hotel management was applying its own pressure, warning her against going to hospital or the police. But the pain of her injuries became too much.
I was in agony. I had 4 broken ribs on one side.
Four broken
ribs. I went to the hotel and said, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. They, at that point, said, well, the police will become involved. They became quite aggressive towards me.
So the hotel didn't even help you to go to the hospital?
No. I called a taxi on my own.
At this hospital, Alicia was examined. Her injuries consistent with being bashed and raped.
They said, do you want to tell the police so that the men can be arrested? And I said, the hotel told me that I might have some issues with the fact that I had a drink. And they said, no, don't worry about it. You're a Christian, you're not Muslim, it's fine. You report.
What Alicia didn't know is that being raped was essentially the same as having sex outside marriage where the sex is consensual, and that she would be charged with the same offence as those who assaulted and raped her.
Michelle James is Alicia's Australian lawyer. It was Islamic Sharia law that would now determine Alicia's fate and the fate of the men who'd raped her.
My understanding is that for there to be a conviction of rape in the UAE, that there need to be 4 adult male Muslim witnesses who can provide evidence that the sex was non-consensual.
You're kidding.
That's my understanding.
So a woman can only prove that she has been raped if there are 4 adult Muslim men watching the rape.
Who are prepared to say that the sex was non-consensual.
Alicia followed the hospital's advice and went to this police station to give a formal statement in the hope that the men who'd drugged and raped her would be arrested.
Did you realise at that stage you were in trouble?
No, I thought I was just signing my statement as to what had happened.
Is that statement in English?
No, it was in Arabic. I said, I can't sign this, it's not in English, and they basically gave me the impression I would be in trouble. He told me I'd be in trouble with the judge wouldn't like it if I didn't sign.
What Alicia couldn't have known is that the statement was in fact a confession to sex outside marriage, to damaging honour, promoting sin and drinking alcohol. As soon as she'd signed, she was taken directly to an Islamic court.
Then the 3 men who'd raped her, all hotel employees, were brought into the court, handcuffed. Alicia thought she was testifying against them, but she was actually on trial with them. You think that these men are facing criminal charges for rape?
Yes. They came in with shackles.
You think that you're just a witness?
Yes.
Nobody's told you that you're now under suspicion?
Yes.
As a criminal?
That's right.
But more importantly, why should any woman who's a victim of rape be accused of any crime?
Yeah, I know.
The trial lasted less than 30 minutes.
I didn't realise until after I'd finished giving my statement and I was being led into a different direction the way that I'd came. And I said, where am I going? What's going on? And the judge said to me, you're going to jail. And I said, what for? And he said, you drank. And I said, but I drank in a staff bar and I'm Christian. And he said, doesn't matter, you don't have any rights here.
You sure don't.
Alicia was sentenced to 1 year in jail, 11 months for sex outside marriage, 1 month for drinking alcohol. As for the rapists, 2 got the same sentence, the third got a month more. 2 hours' drive from Dubai is a place few tourists ever see. Fujairah Prison.
I was petrified when I first went in there. I was absolutely terrified.
This is the prison here, a place Alicia Ghali describes as a nightmare. It's where she was locked up for 8 months.
During the day, Alicia could hear prisoners being lashed. At night, prisoners being bashed. In filthy conditions, she shared a cell with 30 other women, and she felt absolutely alone.
It was disgusting, no hygiene whatsoever. Sometimes they'd turn the water off for 4 days at a time, and when it's 55 degrees in the middle of summer, it was bad.
I was fearful she'd die.
Alicia is not the only victim of an unjust system.
You know you haven't done anything wrong, and then that moment he told me, you have to do a month in prison. It's shock, just absolute shock.
In 2009, Charlotte Adams was sentenced to a month in jail for greeting a male friend with a kiss on the cheek. Charlotte was on an extended holiday. A real estate agent from England, she was thinking of finding work and staying permanently. The place felt fun and she fell for Dubai's party lifestyle.
Monday nights you go out and it's ladies drink free, you get free champagne in every hotel bar. You have brunches once a week where it's unlimited alcohol and food for like £100. So it's very much a drinking, partying culture in Dubai.
It's what traps many Westerners. A seemingly tolerant society that paints itself as free and easy. But it's not.
Charlotte Adams was in this diner when she found out the hard way that this country is not the West.
With 4 male friends, Charlotte came here for a late-night snack after an evening out. Earlier, she'd given Eamon, a fellow Londoner, a friendly kiss on the cheek to say hello. They finished their meal, they paid and left, only to be stopped by the police.
Well, they arrested you?
Yeah, there and then on the spot.
What did they accuse you of?
They didn't say anything at first. They didn't say anything. We got driven to Jebel Ali police station and they called us in one by one. And then he was just asking me like what I'd been doing that evening. So I said, you know, we've just been out, like got some food. He was like, were you kissing him? And I was like, no. And he's like, did you kiss him? And I was like, well, we would have kissed on the cheeks to say hi. But apparently, as soon as I said we kissed on the cheek, that was it. It was like kissing on the cheek is illegal.
Charlotte spent 23 days behind bars before being deported.
It portrays itself as being really progressive and forward-thinking and the new Middle East, as they call it, but it's not.